Welcome to the Movie Inspectors. I'm Inspector Dustin. This is Inspector Grant. As Grant just said, spoilers are ahead for, what are we reviewing, Grant?
Infinity War. So, if you don't want spoilers, I suggest you click off, wait until you can actually watch the movie, come back, and we'll do the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, so here's your last warning, last chance.
Warning.
We've waited 3 weeks now since this movie has come out to do this because first we had to see it a second time. And also, man, what an emotional movie, Grant, right?
That will impact. I think I lost some heart rate in that movie. I think my heart stopped for a second in the movie theater.
Yeah. So, Grant, why do we have the figures arranged the way we have them? Because this is the biggest spoiler here. So
alive people dead.
Look at this. So, as you've been watching...
this is also dead. That broke at the end.
That's true. The gauntlet broke.
Everything broke at this
If you've been watching our Avengers series, we started in the beginning of January. We watched every movie, all 19 of them, all the way up to Avengers Infinity War. And we've been adding these Titan series toy figures to go along with them. And so we decided at the last one, we had everybody, and we had to have so many people on this thing because we didn't know who was going to be in the movie. And we decided to arrange these toys to honor our fallen heroes.
Rip Spider-Man.
Rip Spider-Man. That's right. At the end of Infinity War, we kept saying... It's Infinity War. At the end of
Infinity War. I know this was a cameo. I didn't know that this was a movie about the Fantastic Four.
No, it's not. Maybe the next one, but not this one. So we have our heroes that are alive, that ended the movie alive, and the heroes. Look at all of them. All these people died when Thanos snapped his fingers.
Well, Gamora fell in.
Well, that's right. We should talk about that. Vision and Gamora, they got killed before the snap. In
the most dumbest way possible.
Well,
Vision just got his one move and...
Well, he took out a chunk of his head, too.
And Gamora, I think, had the stupidest death in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
All right, well, we'll get to it.
I want to say it.
Okay.
Thanos picked Gamora up to get the Soul Stone who had to kill somebody he loved. Apparently, Thanos loved him even though they made her fire system. If she actually lost, she would have had a mechanical part in her body, but whatever. And threw her off a cliff to get the Soul Stone. He threw her off the cliff. This was a superhero, one of the best assassins around, and she died by falling off a cliff.
Well, a lot of people die by falling, but so Grant, what did you think about the movie in general? Not like nitpicking a certain part or saying you did cry a little bit. Yes, you did. He did. But
this movie is very emotional. People who don't like emotional stuff, if you watch this movie, you probably cried the most in a superhero film since Quicksilver died in Age of Ultron, and this was much more tears than that.
So, Grant, did you like the movie though?
I liked it.
What did you think of Thanos as a villain?
I thought he was probably the best villain. Like, the best villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know why, but some people feel sympathy for him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He killed half of the universe, guys. Not very sympathetic. She was sad about killing Gamora, but the stuff he did to Gamora, making him fight her sister, and if he actually lost, getting a mechanical part replaced by taking a part off of her body and replacing it with mechanical, if she actually lost. Gamora was very lucky into this movie. In her backstory, she never lost a fight and never got a part torn off and replaced with a mechanical part.
That's right. So
but she gets
you're saying
because Cliff.
No sympathy for Thanos just because he shed a tear when he killed his child to get the Soul Stone and then killed half of the universe.
One tear, guys. It's not like it was like only one tear.
I do think that Thanos was an incredibly inventive villain. You understood why he was doing what he was doing. He was wrong. You know, he decided that the universe had he didn't have infinite resources, had finite resources, and that if you were able to kill off half the population, the rest of the people that were left would survive.
You know what's funny?
What?
If he was able to do anything with the snap of his fingers, why didn't he double the resources?
That's a good point, Grant.
Guys, if you give me the Infinity Stones, I'll snap my fingers with using this gauntlet and double the resources.
You hear that, Russo brothers? Why not? Well, that is why they called him the Mad Titan. He was slightly insane and evil. He thought it was easier to kill off half the people than to work towards bringing better resources to the universe.
And especially since his planet was dying, they could have done that thing with the trade, like the native in the Philippines, where trading resources that they need for the other ones that they need.
Yeah.
Thanos, you're a piece of crap.
So, Grant, you and I had predictions before the movie about what would happen, and we were both wrong.
You thought the Infinity Stone was in Wakanda. The entire reason they went to Wakanda was to help get the Mind Stone out of Vision's head.
Right.
Spoilers, instead of getting the Visions out of it, Wakanda doing it, Thanos just tore it right out of his head and killed Vision. And it was funny.
And the Soul Stone... What?
When Vision died, apparently Daddy said that this is a version of Vision in the comic books when it became black and white.
That's right. So we never know. We'll talk about that, about speculation in a little bit, about what's going to happen in the next movie. But let's keep it on this movie. So let's talk about...
Well, we won't know what happens in the next movie.
No, we're going to speculate. We're going to guess. We don't even know the term. We know Captain Marvel. We'll talk about that in a second. So
we'll go to the one after the Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then the sequel Infinity War, not Captain Marvel.
Right. So Grant, so we talked about the surprising reveal of the Soul Stone being on a different planet.
And it was funny.
What?
Apparently, we all thought the Soul Stone would be here.
Yeah.
That's where the Mind Stone is.
That is true. The
Soul Stone is one of the tiny souls here, including the space time stone that's all the way over here.
So the movie had that surprising reveal when it revealed the Soul Stone, and who was the guardian of the Soul Stone?
Red Skull.
Yeah.
And he was an okay guardian. I just thought that the way he was a guardian wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean it was a neat little reveal, but I have to admit, on second viewing, I was like, it seemed a little crammed in. You know, like
it also seemed weird. For Marvel Cinematic Universe, they don't usually have stuff like Ghost and Guardians. That's more of like Harry Potter and stuff, but this movie just thrown it in.
Yeah.
After we saw aliens and robots invading, but whatever. And also, Red Skull would probably be trying to trick them instead of being all, oh, here's the instructions, and actually being true about those instructions.
What did you think about the battle of the Black Order? The other children of the big, the Ebony Maw.
The children of Thanos. Yeah, I thought they were okay. Nothing wrong with their character. They were actually fantastic. It's just some of their designs look like they were. One of them looked like they were literally the Thing. I don't know. Maybe in the future, though, when Marvel gets the right to use the Thing, maybe they'll show that it's the same species as that children of Thanos. But whatever.
I was disappointed.
They also were a little bit bad CGI. The CGI wasn't great because this is how many cast members they had, including the children of Thanos.
Yeah, and all the soldiers and stuff like that.
And all the background people, the people working behind the scenes.
What did you think about the battle in New York for when Tony and Hulk got back together and he met Doctor Strange and then they battled Ebony Maw and the other hulking type of for the Time Stone? What did you like about that?
I just thought that battle can be avoided if you got Doctor Strange the heck out of there. And also, it was a little bit too much on short. For introducing the children of Thanos, not only did they only introduce like 3 or like 4 children compared to all the other children, and also they killed off children right in that battle by sending one. Well, they didn't really kill him; they just chopped off his head. Also, the most bloodiest thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, and sending him to a wet desert. Boom! You introduced him. You fight him for a little bit. Gone.
Yep. And what battle scene did you like the most?
Wakanda. No explanation there. It's funny though of how they didn't use these weird aliens that were fighting everybody.
Yeah. They didn't. Well, that's the
beforehand, maybe during the battle in New York, they would have
that was the Chitauri. This was a different type of alien that they're using because they killed all the Chitauri in New York.
Why didn't they use the aliens that were at Wakanda in New York?
Well, they used the Chitauri first, and then they had to go get some new recruits, and that's why it took them a while to come and get the Mind Stone on Earth. Grant, what do you So you liked the Wakanda battle? I liked it too, but now I think about it, it was like, where's the gunships? Where were the gunships?
Where were
they had
any
in Black
of the
Panther. But
in Black Panther, here's how much protection they had.
Yeah.
They had flying ships. They had a force field. They could literally hide themselves. For camouflage. They had a bunch of armies with things that can destroy a tank. They have some of the most strongest weaponry on Earth. Oh, let's see how much was actually used in Infinity War. Force field.
So Grant, what else? Did you like? Did you like the romance between Scarlet Witch and Vision?
Luckily that it didn't last that long, and they both died at the end of it.
So that's luckily they're both dead.
Luckily, Thanos snapped his fingers.
What do you think of Iron Man's new suit, the Iron Spider suit?
You said Iron Man's new suit.
Spider-Man's new suit, the Iron Spider.
It wasn't really new. We saw it in Homecoming.
We didn't see it in action. We saw it in a shelf.
Yeah, I just really didn't like the way it was put in. The problem was when Spider-Man got introduced in the Civil War, he wasn't wearing the Iron Spider. Now that Iron Spider is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, but it wasn't in the right area. It was supposed to be in Civil War because that's the time when he wore it. In Infinity War, he never wore it, the Iron Spider.
No, they waited until he got on that spaceship, and Tony Stark spooled it up and said, "Send it to me Friday," and she sent it to him, and then he had it for the rest of the thing. Now,
yeah, he never took it off.
What did you think? But now we have to talk about the end of the movie. Real tough. And if you haven't seen it, Thanos snaps his fingers, and over the next few minutes, half the people
it's funny.
leave the Earth, leave existence, and I think I know what you're going to say. But what was the most emotional moment? Spider-Man. Grant loves Spider-Man. He loves Spider-Man even more than Iron Man. And
I'm literally trying not to try now. Seriously.
But it was I gotta say, it was one of the more emotional moments in all of the Marvel universes when Spider-Man, who has this spider sense, realizes something is happening to him, and he says he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to die, and Tony's holding him, and this is exactly what Tony was afraid of, and Spider-Man goes away.
Question, what happened to Aunt May? The last time we saw her, she was in Spider-Man Homecoming, and then all of a sudden...
If you go online, the Russo brothers have an article up that talked about people who lived and people who didn't live.
And they showed that apparently Black Panther's sister somehow lived.
Yes, we think she lived. That's unsure. We're not sure yet.
Well, what makes sense, all she did was get hit and fell down the stairs.
So
at least Gamora actually fell from a cliff. That's no way she died.
And then all of this came at the end because Doctor Strange said there was only one possibility out of 1.4 million possibilities of them winning in the end. And at the end, when Doctor Strange was also passing away, he turned to Tony and what did he say?
This was the only way.
This was the only way. So, I think...
No, it's funny.
What?
They said how many he saw, which means there could have been more where they actually won.
Maybe. But you did see 1.4 million possibilities.
Well, think of how many possibilities there could be. There could be infinite possibilities. No wonder it's called Infinity War.
Now, do you think it's fair that everybody on the internet is blaming Star-Lord?
Yes, if he... Sure, he doesn't just not act instead of thinking, but he just thought for a moment that maybe punching Thanos wasn't the brightest idea. This movie would have been over in 5 minutes.
Well, see, I agree that Star-Lord was to blame, but I also go back to what Doctor Strange was saying about this being the only way.
Oh, so you think he mind-controlled Star-Lord to punch the absolute
I think
crap
he
out of
knew
Thanos?
that everybody had to die for everybody to eventually live and win. And part of that was Star-Lord losing his control. And look, let's think about what poor Star-Lord has had to go through in the last 3 movies. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and this one. In Guardians of the Galaxy 1, we see him lose his mom. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, not only did he have to kill his real father, but he lost his adoptive father, Yondu. And now in Avengers 3, he loses the love of his life, Gamora, after trying to kill her because she asked him to, and then he couldn't do it, and then he finds out that she died anyways. That I don't know if I'd be able to hold my cool there.
Yeah, but it's a funny thing.
What?
Have you ever noticed that he's always been like,
yeah,
maybe he shouldn't start punching the person that can literally control reality with his fist. Heck, he knows that he can control reality because he saw him control reality. Ugh, this man's so stupid.
So, now it's time, Grant. We have to wait a little bit less than a year now. 11 months. A little bit more than 11 months for... for Avengers. Okay, you know what? Before we get into speculation, let's talk about the end credit scene.
Yes.
So...
This is probably the best part about the whole movie.
It's pretty good.
It didn't make me cry. First of all, we actually knew what happened to Nick Fury, even though he eventually died.
That's right.
And let me go over what happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
They see everything starting, so we actually see what happened in New York of everything disintegrating.
And the real world things of how
Hey!
Go ahead.
And then he communicates over a weird device. We have a red alert saying people just disintegrating. Then, after Sir Agent, another person that was in the car that Nick Fury was in, that they crashed, disintegrated. He started disintegrating while talking on the communication, and he sweared. The device dropped, and we see that message got sent to Captain Marvel.
That's right. The logo of Captain Marvel appears, and that's the hope that this movie ends us with, is with Captain Marvel being called. We don't know where she is. Maybe she's in another dimension. Maybe she's
well, they did say that half was killed, and Iron Man was in the same area that everybody else died, and he lived. So maybe she's just on Earth, maybe in an area that's hard to communicate, like, let's say...
We're going to find out in Captain Marvel next year, which comes out in February, I think, of next year. Captain Marvel comes out, we have
No, that's impossible.
yeah.
The next Avengers movie is You said the next Avengers movie is coming out yesterday.
In May.
Captain Marvel is split in between those two films.
Right. In February of next year is when Captain Marvel is coming out, and then in May of next year is when Avengers is coming out, and in July of this year is Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I think we're gonna get some.
Are you telling me I have to wait an entire year for Avengers Part 4?
Yeah.
And in
Was better than 3 years. Like when I grew up, I had to wait 3 years in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi to find out what happened. 3 years!
Hey, well, at least you didn't need to find out what happened to all those dead members.
Now, there's a lot of dead people in Empire Strikes Back. We had the review, but a lot of people are comparing
there's no way
this
of coming back
to the Empire Strikes Back of the Marvel Universe, this movie, because it's so dark in its ending. And so, Grant, this is a perfect time to go into...
But then again, there was no Yoda Force users that lived. I'm not counting this guy because he died.
Grant, what do you think? Now it's time to speculate on what's going to happen in Avengers 4.
Speculation! Alright, my speculation. Here's what probably the plot will be about. But then again, we all assumed that the Soul Stone, well, I didn't, but Daddy and other people thought
I was wrong, okay?
The Soul Stone was being a Wakanda, but whatever. I'm going to say my speculation. So, the Avengers are sitting there trying to regroup because Iron Man's still lost. They probably think he's still dead. And when he come back, they'll probably make some comedy thing because this movie forced in comedy during, even though at the end everybody died. So there'll probably be some comedy in this one too. And then, once they actually reveal all the Avengers, they sacrifice themselves to bring Captain Marvel, and also Captain Marvel probably gets in like cell and traps with the superheroes that are still alive. So, minus Rocket. Probably Rocket's also in the cell because he's part of the Guardians, and the Guardians have to come back because they're making the third movie. Probably these characters, not Rocket, but everybody on the show but Rocket probably sacrificed themselves because they're running out of their contracts to save Captain Marvel and Rocket from their containment cell. And by sacrificing themselves, not only did they free Captain Marvel and Rocket, they also brought everybody that's dead back to life. Everybody that's not dead kills Thanos by getting the other Infinity Gauntlet, which was shown in Infinity War at the place where Thor's hammer was born, and using all the stones to kill Thanos by blowing him in dust and killing him once and for all.
Oh, wow, okay. All right, well, that's pretty deep. Here's my thing. I think Captain Marvel is in another dimension. At the end of her movie, she decided she's too powerful to live in this universe, and she decided to go somewhere else. And that device that Nick Fury had was an interdimensional beeper. Because it was from the 90s. And it called Captain Marvel back to this dimension. Captain Marvel regroups with Thor and Captain America in Wakanda. Captain America decides Black Widow and everybody else is over there. Captain America decides that he needs to be Captain America again. He can't be this weird nomad thing. And that they're going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp and Hawkeye, who were not in this movie, and we're going to find out what happened to them in the next 2 movies. They're going to get together, and they're going to find a way to go find Iron Man, who's on Thanos' home planet with...
no one, because everybody else
died. No, there's Nebula's there.
Oh, yeah. Nebula and... No, I think the person...
Groot
died
yeah.
on Wakanda.
Well, who else is up there?
I think it's just Antenna's live.
No, Mantis is dead too. Nebula and Iron Man.
Nebula and Iron Man.
and then they will go find a way to get them because remember, Stormbreaker, the new hammer or axe that Thor has the power of the Bifrost Bridge, so they can travel. And one of the powers that Miss Marvel has in the comics is cosmic awareness. So maybe she can sense where they are and go to them. And then they all go to get that other glove. I agree with you there. They're going to go get that other glove.
Yeah, because why would they show in Infinity War if they're not going to get it?
And once
they're just going to sit there?
Right, and once they get the other glove, they go to find wherever Thanos is with the old glove and all the old stones. They have an epic fight with Thanos. All of them die except for Groot. Or not Groot, Rocket. And the Hulk. And the Hulk finally comes out. We didn't even talk about that. The Hulk, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me finish. And the Hulk finally comes out, and that's how they beat Thanos. They put the Reality Stone back into the new glove, and they're able to save everyone that died in the snap. But Gamora and Vision did not die in the snap. So I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is all about trying to find a way to free Gamora from the Soul Stone. I think she's trapped in the Soul Stone. But I think Vision comes back in Avengers 4 because they find a way to reanimate his body. And he's black and white like he was in the White Vision inside the comics. And he's also helping fighting Thanos. So that is my speculation.
Yeah, Doctor Strange talked about the only way. But it seemed like this only way was, like, weird.
Well, I think one of his only ways...
Star-Lord punched Thanos in the face.
Well, I think one of his only ways was Tony had to live. That's why he made sure that Thanos spared Tony. He said, "You need to. If I give you the Time Stone, you need to spare him," and that kept Tony from dying.
Even though Thanos did that thing about making the weapon, and they still killed him every way, but whatever.
Yeah. So that's all. Anything else? Oh, well, we got to talk about Hulk.
I'm going to say why my speculation. Why I think this. Captain Marvel would probably be able to keep Thanos' butt with that gauntlet. No Infinity Stones or not, like, it could just take one Space Stone and... So they'll probably have some reason to stretch it out like they did with Star-Lord punching Thanos by having her trapped somehow. Maybe she needs that... Maybe Thanos locks her in the other dimension and not letting the call happen, so they need to actually make the call happen by trying to make the device.
I also think that we're going to get some new heroes introduced in Avengers 4 in the end credit scenes, like Fantastic Four, maybe, and Nova.
You know what I think?
What?
And we've all seen other versions of all the heroes that are the Avengers before. We've seen the Iron Man that was a girl. We saw Miles Morales.
You're talking about the Ultimate Universe in the comics.
And there's also another girl, Spider-Man. There's two.
Spider-Woman, yep.
Another girl Iron Man. There's like two girl Iron Man, so they can choose whichever one they want. There's also the next Avengers. The Avengers that become the new Avengers after the old Avengers die from Ultron. But then again, they could just do it with Thanos instead of Ultron.
Right.
There's also, they actually mentioned Captain America's new shield in Homecoming. So maybe they're trying to re-get Captain America, and maybe he gets signed up after this movie, that new Cap, because they talk because the Agent Will sort of mentions the new shield, that there's no way they just want a new shield for Captain America without Captain America, so they're probably going to get another person to be the new Captain America. There's also there's a bunch of different universes of different versions that they could bring to a table. What I'm saying here, there's a lot of different versions of Iron Man that aren't of the Avengers that aren't like Bruce.
Right. This is the original. I think you're right. I think what we're going to see is the last hurrah of the first Avengers in Avengers 4. Because notice their hurrah. Last adventure of the first Avengers. Because we also know that Hawkeye's probably alive. So I think we're going to see the original 6 Avengers. They're going to team up one last time to save the universe. And I do think Hulk will live, and Black Widow has a movie coming out, so I think she will live.
Or maybe that will be a new Black Widow instead of the old one.
No, it's the old one. But these 3 guys, as Grant mentioned, their contracts are running out. They make a lot of money, especially Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and
they're basically they have so much money. They're taking money out of Disney's account now.
So I do think that they're going to end up finding a way to retire them or
keep them dead and have the new Avengers come in. That could be very cool.
Because
they could also bring in like Miles Morales and Spider-Man to team up.
We could see a West Coast Avengers type of thing.
Or they could have this way. Let's say the superheroes to kill Thanos sacrifice all the ones that have like superpowers, like Captain America and Iron Man and Tony Stark's technology. Sacrifice it to kill Thanos, and they all become regular people after that. And the way that it kills Thanos, they kill Thanos. They sacrifice their powers because they can't be themselves anymore to other people who get the powers.
Possible. Lots of things that we don't know. We won't know until next year.
Especially since
we don't even know the title.
We don't even know the title. It could be Infinity Gauntlet. It could be Last Resort. Not Last. It could be Avengers No More. It could be even Infinity Life.
I think it's going to be Avengers Assemble. One last ride. That's my thing. But anyways,
I think it's probably called Infinity Gauntlet because that other gauntlet.
Last words about Avengers Infinity War. What a wonderful run I've had with you, doing these movies with you, all 19.
But don't worry, we'll have another series.
We're going to talk about that in a second in our What's Up Next segment. Anything else about Avengers Infinity War?
Well, I gotta say, this was probably the closest we'll ever get to a rated R Marvel movie. It had probably the biggest death count in all the 19 movies.
Yep.
It even had a couple of blood, like Thanos dropping some blood and stuff. It did have a couple of romance. Yeah, this is probably the closest we'll ever get. But I don't think Marvel's gonna go all rated R, unless if they want to bring Deadpool in this universe, which is a lost cause. Sure, they're gonna get Fox, but how would they bring Deadpool in? He's one of the most he's the violent.
You've never seen it, so they won't say you that until he gets a little older.
Because I can't watch rated R movies, and that movie is rated R.
Yeah.
So they're probably not gonna be able to fit.
So Grant, are you ready for What's Up Next? And we're back with our What's Up Next segment. We just got done with our big review series with the Marvel, and so we're moving on to our next review series. Grant, this was your idea. What are we doing?
The Jurassic Park series. You know what?
Because we're getting ready for Jurassic World that's coming out in June, and so we're going to watch all of the Jurassic Park movies. That's Jurassic Park Lost World, Jurassic 3, and Jurassic World to get ready for Jurassic World 2.
Fallen Kingdom. And wait, I want to say one thing. This is basically going to be a movie because this is like 30 minutes of Infinity War. 3 minutes of this trailer. 3 minutes! And also that this is, I always said, I forgot to say about the Infinity War. Take the whole picture of all the Marvel Cinematic, just take the original Avengers and Rocket Raccoon. That's how many were alive in that movie. So,
so we went back to that. All right, here we go. Jurassic Park trailer from 1993.
This is going to be so great. We're going to get a copyright strike. My favorite. Loading.
Oh, we got commercials.
My favorite part, Jurassic Park at the guest.
No, it's the instant gold status. You're saving 5 cents a
skip
gallon
out.
every fill.
It's a haircut?
I'm pretty sure it's the instant gold status. Here, check it out.
There we go. Jurassic Park, the original trailer from 1993.
Oh no! I told you the fallen universe. Oh, back then movies didn't look that good.
And I've spent the last 5 years setting up a kind of biological preserve. What kind of park is it?
This park is a park where you're gonna get eaten your face off by a T-Rex, my friend.
We've made living biological attractions so
Why
astounding
is your
to
face?
capture the imagination.
Oh, that was
The
a
entire
disgusting
planet.
product.
It's
Is this a real trailer? I don't know if this is a
our
real trailer.
attractions will drive kids up to their minds.
Grandpa!
We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
We're going to open next year. That is if the lawyers don't kill me first.
What species is it? It's a velociraptor.
The park will open with the basic tour you're about to take.
Don't you see the danger chilling inherent in what you're doing here? Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen. You look like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
These are aggressive living things that have no idea what century they're in, and they'll defend themselves violently if necessary.
Dinosaurs,
Ah, there's the
two
first
species
film.
separated by 65 million years of evolution, just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together. How can we possibly have the slightest idea what to expect?
Hey, what'd that touch? I didn't touch anything. We're stoned. Anybody hear that? It's an impact tremor is what it is.
It's the power trip come back on.
What the hell? Friends have faded all over the planet.
You're hearing the shutdown is the return of all offenses.
Fairly alarmed here. Hold on to your butt.
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts.
Oh no.
Come on, Mainland. Tell them to send the damn helicopters.
I can't get Jurassic Park back online.
Yes, Bryce.
We'll go.
What? We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
The only thing that matters now are the people we love.
Which is just a delay. That's all it is. All major theme parks have delays.
But John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists.
You're on your dog. Did Josh even come out at this time?
This is
We have control.
We never have control. That's the illusion.
Yeah, that is so good. When will they learn to stop making killer parts and killer dinosaurs? Ah, back then the movies didn't look that good.
still got some 7 seconds left.
So really worry about the last see? It was edited.
Yeah.
Edited.
I don't know if that was the original trailer or not. That's what we can find on YouTube. It is back from 1993. So Grant, what are you looking forward to watching these Jurassic movies again?
Well, I'm probably looking forward to, yes, I watch Friday 13 stuff if you're asking.
We're not watching those.
I'm looking forward to probably seeing the scene of the toilet.
Yeah. The guy did it. I'm gonna look forward to these movies. I know the original was great and the sequels were not as good, but
the third one did at least have the Spinosaurus. Why did the first and second one not have the Spinosaurus?
he likes the Spinosaurus.
Neither did the fourth one.
So
Something is wrong with this.
we got 4 movies to get ready for the Jurassic World opening in June. So we're going to be doing it once a week and maybe twice a week if we miss one. So look for our reviews for Jurassic World. We also are going to see The Incredibles and the Han Solo film. We'll look for our live reviews of those when those movies come out.
Solo, that's probably going
that's
to be
next
the
week.
worst Star Wars
No,
movie.
I think it's going to be awesome. So, all right.
It's sure it's probably going to be awesome, but it's going to be the worst movie of Star Wars. Not saying it's going to be bad,
The
but it's going to be
prequels?
the worst. Okay, fine. That's
All right. So for the movie projectors, we're going to say goodbye.